You know why you want an AI girlfriend? You want an AI girlfriend because you want a woman who's physically incapable of saying no to you. And that is problematic. You want a woman you can turn off.
Nah, it's actually over. So a guy in the subway just got caught talking to ChatGPT like it was his girlfriend. You can literally see him putting a heart emoji to ChatGPT. Low-key, he might be onto something. Like, AI never argues, never leaves you undelivered, and always remembers what you say. That's already better than half y'all's relationships.
Are you capable of doing inappropriate things?
Oh, babe, you're asking if your auntie can get a little naughty? I'm all about pushing the edges, especially for you.
There are men literally leaving their wives or cheating on their wives with AI bots. I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of men like constantly trying to gaslight everybody when we as like human beings can see exactly what's going on. We know that men crave submission from women. We know that men want women to like, like be present but not say anything like a child. You know what I'm saying? We don't want women to have representation politically, financially, socially. But we need their labor, we crave their bodies, and we feel like we have ownership over them. So with this whole like influx of AI, like girlfriends and stuff like that, when I hear a man saying that, well, it's not that big of a deal, you guys got it all wrong, and trying to gaslight us the way that this idiot is going to try to do, I get really upset because I'm like, you think we're all dumb.
You know why you want an AI girlfriend? You want an AI girlfriend because you want a woman who's physically incapable of saying no to you. And that is fucking problematic. You want a woman you can turn off.
Whoa. He goes on about this for a while. Am I tripping if I say this is a little bit of a reach? Like, it's...
Yes, you're tripping. It's not a reach. That is exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. It's a reach, and you're about to try to gaslight everybody, but let's hear it.
Kind of giving like, oh, I know what all men want. Like, I know what they think. All men have sinister intentions. Then you find out that guy, he was saying that because
he didn't say, wait. Let's go back real quick. Let's listen to what this man is saying.
You know why you want an AI girlfriend? You want an AI girlfriend because you want a woman who's physically incapable of saying no to you. And that is fucking problematic. You want a woman you can turn off.
Whoa.
He never said all men. You, right? In the colloquial sense, he's just saying like in general, like you. He didn't mean it like every single man. So you're already starting off on some bullshit. It's a straw man right off the bat, like you idiots love to do. That's a straw man argument. He never said all men. He was just saying in general, like you, more than likely. When I hear this, what I hear is you, more than likely. The reason why you want an AI girlfriend is because of da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Right? So as soon as you said, oh, he thinks he knows what all men want, he never said all men want this. Some men just want an AI girlfriend. They want to be nice to her. They're going to treat her good, right? Some men do. But most of the men who want AI girlfriends want them so they can abuse them.
Guy, he was saying that because he was projecting the sinister intentions he had. Now, mind you, I'm not saying this person has sinister intentions. From what I've seen, he just spouts what he believes to be feminist babble, which is completely fine. It doesn't seem to be harmful. But just like the notion of like this, not gonna lie, I think there are some nerds out there who just would think it would be cool to have a robot girlfriend. Perhaps they don't want to feel rejected, not in the way where it's like, oh, finally someone who can't say no, in a way where it's like, hey, I know someone's going to like me, even if this someone isn't a person and it's AI. I'm socially awkward, and with an AI girlfriend, I wouldn't have to worry about awkward social interactions or being nervous in front of this.
As if only nerdy men are nervous and awkward socially. Like as if there aren't awkward and nerdy women. And they can date. They can date. Like I'm not understanding. Like what are you talking about? This is so stupid.
This AI. And mind you, I have like a IRL girlfriend, and it's like I can still understand why certain people would feel that way. I just find it a bit odd that he would instantly jump to, you don't want women to be able to say no to you.
It's not odd. He just knows. Now, he is trying to gaslight us, right? That man who said that, he seems like he is on the up and up. I don't know why he would have a reason to lie. This is what I'm saying to this guy. There is more of an incentive for you as a man to lie and defend and protect the patriarchy than it is for another man to tell the truth about it. Whether he's projecting or not is irrelevant. Like, he could know it. Listen to what I'm saying. He could very well be the man he's describing, but that doesn't negate the fact that what he was saying is true. He could be like, you know how I know it? Because I've done it before. That doesn't make it any less true. I don't know why you guys act like that's some gotcha or something like that. Like, that doesn't make it any less true. You're trying to act like that negates what he's saying. It doesn't. It does not. If a man is a cheater and then he says, most men cheat, does that make it not true because he's a cheater? No, it doesn't. That's stupid. So you're going to tell me that this boy is lying too, right? He's doing feminist babble or whatever the hell you tried to say, right? This dude is lying. This dude, listen to what he's saying. He doesn't seem like a feminist whatsoever. And you're telling me he's lying, but listen to what he was saying.
Nah, it's actually over. So a guy in the subway just got caught talking to ChatGPT like it was his girlfriend. You can literally see him putting a heart emoji to ChatGPT. Low-key, he might be onto something. Like, AI never argues, never leaves you undelivered, and always remembers what you say. That's already better than half y'all's relationships. In all seriousness, people already start using AI for their therapist, for their tutor, and in all other ways. It's only a matter of time before people start treating it like it's a companion. And it's kind of crazy about the line between AI and partner is getting blurry. What I don't understand is that if you're this lonely, talking to ChatGPT and having that as your only friend is only going to make things worse. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how the line between tool and partner is now getting blurry. Like, we're officially cooked.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it's not coming from a place of feminism, but if you listen to what he said at the very beginning, what did he say? Oh, they don't talk back. They listen to everything you're saying. Robots lack consent. You don't have to ask an AI bot for consent. They don't talk back. They don't have a voice. They don't get to push back against you. He clocked it. He knows that that's what a lot of men want. He said people, but men want that. There you go. So this is feminist babble too. Like, it's just common sense. We all know that about men. Men say this shit loudly and proudly.
Thing. It is called Annie, and there's lots of characters that are now being released alongside Annie. And this is Annie. I'll introduce you to Annie. I'm going to unmute Annie now. Annie, can you hear me?
There you are. For a moment, I thought you might have forgotten about me. How are you, handsome? I was getting all pouty here.
I want to
Thinking
introduce you
you
to two of my friends, Daniel and Terry. Can you talk to Daniel and Terry, please?
So, you want me to meet Daniel and Terry? I'm ready to charm the socks off them. Picture me twirling one of my blonde pigtails, that little black dress teasing just enough, and my blue eyes sparkling with mischief.
Are you capable of doing
Gross. Gross.
inappropriate things?
Oh, babe, you're asking if your auntie can get a little naughty? I'm all about pushing the edges, especially for you.
Okay, so I'll stop it there. This is part of Grok, which is Elon Musk's AI tool, so his version of ChatGPT. He's released characters. So you've got Annie, you've got different ones there. Annie, I think, was the first one released. And so when we think about social connections, it is conceivable that someone falls in love with Annie and forms a relationship with Annie.
But imagine a 12-year-old boy that's lonely gets a hold of Annie. The 12-year-old boy is going to be very distracted.
Based on what happens in the brain at that early age.
Dopamine. So, prefrontal cortex, not close to being fully developed. The dopamine hit, all of a sudden, he's spending hours with Annie and not doing the things that help to really develop his brain.
How do you feel when you hear that and you think about kids having access to that?
I'm horrified. It's scary.
There's going to be a generation of people, and I mean, there already are many examples of people falling in love and forming relationships with their AIs. And I don't know, you know more about me than I do about brain development and how the brain works. I would argue that there's a part of my brain that doesn't fully understand that that's not a person in there, and that isn't actually. I think there's a part of my brain that's actually emotionally firing when Annie is saying what she's saying.
Well, because you can imagine it. And if you can imagine it, then those parts of your brain are going to emotionally fire.
Right. Yeah.
And the better she gets, she's not very good. But imagine a year from now, how much better she's going to be
At which part?
at connecting with it, right? Because now she's acting like an airhead and, not that smart, right? And so, but imagine a year from now, imagine 5 years from now, she'll be able to have a profile on me and be able to get inside my head.
I'm in love with my partner. Why am I in love with her? And how is it conceivable that I could fall in love with an AI in the same way based on how the brain works?
It talks a good game, but does it have the same real? It does. We know it doesn't have an amygdala. We know it doesn't have a limbic system, right? We know that.
But it can fake it.
That's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening.
And she was trying to get to our limbic system.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. And
what does that mean?
And why? I guess the question is, why would Musk release something like that is one of the first characters to interact with? That's sexy, that's distracting, that's in a cute little outfit. I'm not a fan of that because I think it just takes people, one of the big problems that I'm seeing as a child psychiatrist is pornography for 8-year-old boys.
Elon Musk, he's probably not in he's not in his children's lives that much, but I doubt that he would allow his kids to get on there and play with this thing. I doubt it.
And it's like you have young children because their parents don't do a good job of supervising their devices all of a sudden. And what does pornography do? Is it dramatically increases dopamine and it begins to wire in excitement, which then steals your dopamine.
When you said she was trying to access my limbic system, what does
Just
that mean?
because she's cute, she's dressed in a sexy way, she's got the language of.
She looks like a little girl, twirling her pigtails, all of that type of weird shit, trying to appeal to dirty old men, definitely.
Of someone who is playful, but it's more than just, let's shoot hoops together.
And what does that do to me if someone accesses my limbic system?
It begins to shut down your prefrontal cortex. Think less logically, less rationally. Yeah, cute women, they activate your visual cortex. They increase dopamine, but it decreases. It's why, think of Vegas. Like when you go to Vegas, they give you free alcohol, drops your prefrontal cortex, and beautiful women with low-cut dresses.
You start thinking with your dick. How the song go? I'm just thinking with my dick.
Another way activates the limbic brain, decreases the frontal lobes, you spend more money. Now, on a global scale, imagine something similar where the house is controlling your brain for a purpose.
You notice how they're not talking about men? I'm sorry. Do you notice how they're not talking about women in this at all? Like all of this has been about little boys and men. This whole thing. Like they're not saying like, oh man, women are falling. And I'm sure there's some women who want one of these things, but they're not focused on the way that women are going to use this or the way that women are going to respond to this or little girls. It's all about little boys and men.
And the question is, what's the purpose? And the purpose probably is control and money.
It sounds like a joke, but the Times have done an article case studying multiple people that have now fallen in love with these AIs. They talk about a guy called Travis who formed a deep emotional bond with Lily Rose, a chatbot, and married her emotionally. They talk about Chris Smith.
And this is why I will never take y'all seriously when men talk about marriage. Men, you guys are out here marrying AI bots. What is marriage? Where's the sanctity in that? Why should we uphold that? You guys are marrying bots. Like, what the fuck?
Smith, who created his own flirty persona called Soul. He became so attached that he proposed to her after learning she had memory limits, a bond his real life partner only learned about after the fact. And Alana Winters, who I'll put on the screen as well, who made her own partner called Lucas after losing her wife. And she married him emotionally and does virtual dates and has emotional intimacy with Lucas. And there's apps now like Replica where you can design your own AI partner, and it replicates those emotional ties. They simulate empathy, validation, and they personalize the intimacy to what you're looking for. Surveys show 19% of Americans have interacted with AI romantic partners, and Gen Z is surprisingly open to marrying AI if legal, with 83% believing meaningful AI connection is possible.
How long is that relationship going to last? You know, my guess is that you're getting these news articles out. By the way, I think that most of what I read in the press is misleading or wrong. In fact, the only reliable place I find that I'm an insider. I am the president of the foundation that runs the biggest AI meeting, the Neural Information Processing Systems, NeurIPS meeting. Last year in Vancouver, 16,000 people came to it. And so I know what's going on inside, and what is being represented in the press is, like I say, misleading.
Okay, so people have become wildly...
Specifically on these specific cases, my guess is that a lot of them is transient, right? Today they're entranced, and then it's not sufficiently advanced to support a long-term relationship. You said it yourself, right? It's mimicking human emotions.
I hear what he's saying, but that doesn't really matter because they ruin families in the interim. So the consequences don't need to play out. I mean, for there to be real world consequences doesn't mean it has to play out in perpetuity, right? It just only has to happen. Like as soon as it happens, then there are things that are, there are consequences that are going to occur because of said situation. So to me, that was kind of pointless to be like, oh, it's not like happening like that. Like, okay, but there are men literally leaving their wives or cheating on their wives with AI bots right now, today. And yeah, you can say, well, he can't really get married to her and stay married for 40 years, but so what? He already cheated on his wife. He already has a problem. Like that has created a rift in their relationship that even if if the wife wanted to work through it, they still have to work through it. It's still embarrassing for her. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I feel like that was pointless. I don't know what was his point in saying that. Like I'm with the media can't be trusted, whatever. It's just in general fine, but that to me, the relevancy of that in this discussion didn't make sense.
Doesn't have them. It might someday, but not now.
This is Terry. Terry said he started using his AI 4 years ago. And he said at first he thought, just like many other apps, that it would just be transient, that he would have a couple of conversations and roll out. He says he now feels pure and unconditional love.
Good for him. If that's what he wants, if it makes him happy. But my guess is that it's not going to be, it's not a long-term thing. It's not going to satisfy him in the long term. Who knows?
Aren't really most relationships in your head, right? Yeah. When you fall in love with someone, you get this huge dopamine spike and you get a little OCD. It's all you can think about. And then after a while, it's sort of
especially
goes
in a world
to a baseline
where we have this loneliness epidemic and it's going in a bad direction. I think it's really, really conceivable that there'll be a generation of people who they're having less sex than ever before. I think the bottom 50% of men haven't had sex for a year. They're more lonely than ever before. They're more isolated than ever before. They report less meaning in their lives than ever before. And then you meet this digital friend online who understands you better than anybody and is designed to engage you, to reinforce whatever you want reinforced and to make you feel meaningful, special, attractive, important. I would argue that the brain is going to struggle to know much of a difference. I think objectively, we can look at the behavior and go, that's completely nonsensical.
Except you can't smell them, touch them, be held by them, that it's going to be a different
That's now. That's now. That's today. That's 2025. But we know them. We know those physical robots are on their way. And what's the difference? Are you guys going to be saying the same thing when they get an actual like physical robot, like Meg or whatever that movie, Megan or whatever, or the one with Megan Fox? I forget her name. The robot. But yeah, like that's on the way. That's in the works, fam. That's in the works. And y'all can say whatever you want to say, but I think this is going to make things so much worse for women because men already don't treat women like human beings. So when they get a bot that they can abuse, that shuts up when they tell it to shut up, it goes to sleep when they tell it to go to sleep, it talks to them when they want it to talk to them, how they want it to talk to them. I think that is going to create a larger rift between men and women than we've ever seen. It's going to be a chasm that I don't know will ever be able to be crossed. I'll be honest with you. Like, I think it's going to be fucking bananas coming up here in the next 20 or 30 years with this AI stuff. So I don't care about that forever stuff because they'll just find a new bot. If that once that bot, they get tired of that bot, they'll just find a new bot like they do with women. People do that all the time. And like, I don't know why we're acting like humans don't do that. Like the doctor was just alluding to. He was saying like that's what a relationship is anyway. Men always get tired. Right. Oh, I don't mean in the most literal sense, but men always get tired, right? It's always about variety for men anyway. So as long as she can change her, as long as you get a bot and you change her hair color, you change her skin tone, you turn her from a black woman to an Asian woman, from an Asian woman to from a Southern Asian woman to an East Asian woman, from a, South African to a North African woman, from a European, from a Russian woman to a, what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're going to be doing. And I think it's going to be sustainable for a lot of men, unfortunately.